After the 2 days, he left for Galilee. Now Jesus himself had pointed out that a prophet has no honor in his own country. When he arrived in Galilee, the Galileans welcomed him. They had seen all that he had done in Jerusalem at the Passover Festival, for they also had been there. Once more he visited Cana in Galilee, where he had turned the water into wine. And there was a certain royal official whose son lay sick at Capernaum. When this man heard that Jesus had arrived in Galilee from Judea, he went to him and begged him to come and heal his son, who was close to death. "Unless you people see signs and wonders," Jesus told him, "you will never believe." The royal official said, "Sir, come down before my child dies." "Go," Jesus replied, "your son will live." The man took Jesus at his word and departed. While he was still on the way, his servants met him with the news that his boy was living. When he inquired as to the time when his son got better, they said to him, "Yesterday at 1 in the afternoon the fever left him." Then the father realized that this was the exact time at which Jesus had said to him, "Your son will live." So he and his whole household believed. This was the second sign Jesus performed after coming from Judea to Galilee.
The story of John about the royal official from Capernaum offers a fascinating narrative that encourages us to reflect on our faith, hope, and expectations. In this story, as Jesus returns to Galilee, he can perform another spectacular miracle. After all, those who saw him in Jerusalem came to believe, but now it's not about a display of power that turns water into wine, because what appears to be a plea for a miraculous healing, in essence, transforms into a lesson about faith that doesn't need signs to exist. Jesus asks and wants to stimulate our thinking. Do you also belong to those who cannot trust me without miracles and signs? This very sentence prompts reflection on the nature of our faith. Is our trust in God dependent on physical proofs of His action? Is our faith conditional, based on what we can see, touch, feel? Does our faith weaken when we ask for a lottery win and it doesn't come through? The world, like a speeding locomotive, rushes forward, leaving behind trails of chaos and uncertainty. Therefore, the story of the royal official must remind us from time to time of one of the more important messages. True faith doesn't require constant confirmation with the seal of signs and miracles. If faith is based on solid foundations, it withstands the test of time without spectacular revelations or supernatural spectacles. Notice that in this story, Jesus heals from a distance. He doesn't lay hands, doesn't use holy water. Before the Messiah stands a man who doesn't need to see a miracle to believe. The official trusted the word spoken by Jesus, and that was enough. In our lives, we often find ourselves in similar situations. But then, it's precisely the words of Jesus that strengthen our faith. Even if we don't see the solution to the problem, it will come at the right place and time for us. The story of the meeting in Galilee ends miles away with a triumph of faith. The official and his entire household put their trust in Jesus. This decision was the result of experiencing a faith that transcended the boundaries of the visible world. When faith leads to change, it affects not only us, but also the people around us. A similar message is found in the story of Jesus' conversation with Thomas, where the Messiah says, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. These words remind us that true faith is not based on daily requests for miraculous multiplication of bread or coins in the wallet, but on trust and belief in God's presence in our life. We seek signs and proofs of God's presence. However, true faith goes beyond all evidentiary actions. Following Jesus, let's ask ourselves 2 questions. Are we ready to trust even when the future seems uncertain because we are during 7 lean years? Do we believe in Jesus also when we enjoy abundance and everything goes our way? Let this biblical story be a reminder to us that even in the 21st century, where life seems more complicated than ever, our faith and trust in God's guidance can bring hope, healing, and change. May God bless us all.